Guys, my name's Andy. I'm a cab driver and I'm a pretty pissed off cab driver right now because our government is allowing a terrorist style organisation called Uber to encroach upon our business, and I'm not happy, and I know I'm not the only one. They don't just screw around with us, they screw around with passengers by charging surge pricing when people have got to pay $1,000 to get home on the weekend or on New Year's Eve, or $780 for what would normally be a $75, $80 cab fare. I think that's kind of pretty wrong, and this government's letting it happen. They brought in rideshare legislation effective the 18th of December, where riders had to have business insurance, business registration, a private vehicle hire car authority, and they said that taxis could have exclusive ride access at taxi ranks and from street hails. UberX is also not allowed to operate from the airport. But we've got video evidence and film evidence of UberX operating at the airport and touting for fares, even touting passengers from a taxi driver who's carrying their bags to his car. We've spoken to the traffic command, who've done nothing about it. We've endeavoured to speak to the minister, and I've written to him for a meeting today. And I've had about a gutful. They talk about a level playing field. Well, where is this level playing field they speak of? I haven't seen it yet. And I'm looking really hard. There was a playing field they could get on before. All they needed to do was get a hire car authority. People say taxis are expensive. Well, why? Because the government's been ripping them off for 100 years. Well, maybe not 100, but for a long time. And it's sad. And the victims ultimately, if the taxi industry folds, which is possible, is that the passengers are going to be left with a very small alternative. They'll need a smartphone. They'll book their phone by app. The company they use has got access to all of their phone records, otherwise you don't get on it. As soon as it's busy, they'll charge. They've just dropped 20% of the prices in Queensland, where they're operating illegally, as they did for over 2 years in New South Wales, with no action being taken by our government. If it was another industry, if it was a hotel who had competition open up from his house next door providing a similar service at a cheaper price, where I could sell you beers for a couple of dollars, vodkas for $3 instead of the 8 or 11 or 12 you're paying now, the government would do something about that pretty quick. If I open a medical service without qualified practitioners, that'd be fine. And here's what the government's done to lift the standards. They've lowered them. A taxi can be any age now, and a hire car can be any age. There's no limit on the standards of them. You're allowed to eat in your taxi now that you weren't before. It's insane. And when Uber drivers aren't on their platform, we've seen them. We've seen them touting off the streets for cash fares. And it's insane. There's been a deal done, we don't know what it is. I'm not 100% sure. But when I see a government that's regulated an industry and then have somebody come in and say, we see the fines for doing business as part of our business expenses legitimately, and we'll damn well keep going until you change your legislation. Now, this is what we're seeing. And like I say, I'm not happy. I want to do something about it, and I'm planning a rally in the near future, unless the government enforces the regulations that is put on his website. The Transport New South Wales website says a rideshare driver must be authorised with a proper driver authority, that the car must have business registration, and that an Uber driver cannot do rank or hail work. I've got videos and photos of one picking up at the airport only the other day. If I forwarded them to the minister, is anything done about it? Do they enforce this legislation to keep on this playing level, or playing field that they call level? I still haven't seen one fine issued since the 18th.